Hey listeners, welcome to Berlin 26.2 podcast. I'm excited to bring in the latest story of Andreu Raya Demidoff into this podcast. Andrew is an Andorran citizen who is based in Madrid, Spain, and then he shares his incredible journey in this podcast, how he started in alpine skiing, then moved into being a professional triathlete, and then eventually transitioning into long distance running. And then he deep dive into each part of his story with sharing his key learnings along the way. His humbleness and his attitude of gratitude will definitely inspire you from his story. I'll really not be surprised if part of the story actually brings some tears in your eyes, especially when he shares how running actually make him feel happy, and also the part where he shares how his teenage son almost ran 30 to 35 kilometers, part of the Berlin Marathon this year, to support and cheer for his dad. It's a must listen and enjoy the story. Let's dive in. Welcome, Andrew, to the podcast. I'm very excited to have you here. Let's start with quickly sharing your background then.
Yeah, well, let's say on my professional background, I'm now working I'm the president of an NGO that tries to transform schools into places where kids learn how to live healthy by the experience being there. And everything at the school, we try to change and transform the whole school into a place where kids will be more active during the day, will have always healthy nutrition options, and as well we'll learn about and we'll have homeworks like be healthy leisure. This is more or less my background. I'm living at home with my wife. My dog, that is always, or most of the time, he's training with me. He's coming there for a run every day in the morning. And our 4 kids our kids are quite grown in this moment, grown up. One is 21, the other is 19, 16, and the smallest is 10 years old. The 16 and the 10 years old are also very passionate about running. They are going to athletics activities, and the third one is a really quick runner, not like me that I'm becoming a little old.
So you have a busy household for sure then.
Yeah, no, but if you really want, you always find a slot for going for a run. Sorry, in my case, I prefer going to run in the morning, so the whole day is much better because the important part of the day is done at the very early morning.
Yep. Check off. Like you have the feeling of accomplishment that you accomplished something and that keeps you go through the day for sure. And where are you based at, Andrew?
I'm based in this moment in Madrid. I was born in Barcelona. I'm an Andorran citizen. And maybe I am one of the few Andorran marathoners that are covering in this moment the major marathons. If I'm not wrong, I think when I complete the 6 stars, hopefully next year in New York, I will become the 3rd Andorran in the history to cover the 6 major marathons.
Wow, that would be pretty amazing accomplishment. I'm looking forward to it and cheer for you that you are able to do that and be the first one from Andorra to do that. Awesome. So looks like you're already chasing world majors, and you ran Berlin this year.
Yes, well, Berlin was my 3rd major. And I think it was planned to be my third. It was planned to be my 3rd major. But everything started, I was running marathons before. I have been running marathons since 2012.
Okay.
And At the beginning, I was running marathons all over Spain because we're close to home, and it was, let's say, funny enough. But I had some friends that were involved in some major marathons, and they convinced me, tell me, you have to try this because it's completely different from running let's say, a standard marathon, and it really is. And it started, it was a year 2018. I decided to try going to Boston. I got the qualifying time
Awesome.
to go to Boston 2020, but then it happened to all over the world. We had the COVID time, and Boston was first of all. We had the notice that it was going to be held in the month of September. Then it was not in the month of September or October. And we had the opportunity of running Boston virtually. And I have my medal of completing Boston virtually. I was running, I made a circuit starting at home and finishing at home. I decided with some friends to be there and there to cheering me. It's not the same like running a standard marathon, let's say. It's something completely different, that because you're running a marathon just by yourself. And if you get the chance to have some friends that are going with you for some kilometers, it's okay, but you're never feeling like the same like a marathon. And when Boston was postponed, Chicago also, that I got the qualifying time for Chicago. That was my second planned marathon for the 2020. And when it really started, because the 2021 we were not allowed to go to United States, the Europeans, to run in your marathons because of the COVID restrictions. And everything started with the major marathons in the London Marathon in 22. I ran London, and then the week after I went into Chicago. London was a great experience. Chicago was, for me, incredible. I have never been in such a marathon. It was amazing. Everybody cheering you. Medal Monday was something completely unexpected. And how everybody in the city is cheering you before the marathon, during the marathon, and after the marathon is something that I think is, for me, it was an experience. I think the best experience in my life running a marathon. And then I had the option to go to Berlin. And,
awesome.
And because it was going to be my third start, and Berlin really fulfilled all my expectations. It's a nice marathon, really well organized. I think everything is well managed by the side of the organization. Volunteers are lovely. All the bands that are playing around all the circuit of the marathon are also pushing you to the finish line. And I think that also something that it was really nice for me from a Berlin marathon, comparing, for example, with London marathon, that you feel completely free when you're running. You see that people, sometimes they are allowed to cross or allowed to come near the runner. In London, everything is, you have walls all over. So you're running you're passing the marathon, and people are not allowed even to touch or to get to you. In Berlin, you feel that you're running more freely. But let's say that all major marathons that I've been through in this moment, are three of them, are something incredible and completely different of the standard marathons. Even we knew each other. We met in the Facebook group. Even the Facebook group is something incredible. People sharing their thoughts, their experiences on running this marathon, that helps you a lot. But and also after the Berlin Marathon, we are still posting on the group and sharing some pictures with our medals, where the medals are going.
Yes.
And I forgot about Berlin Marathon. The Mexican runners and the Mexican delegation. It was something incredible. I think that
Yes.
all of us saw the Mexican. There was a place. I don't know where it was. If it was at the kilometer 33 or 34 or 35 or 28, but suddenly you got into a, I don't know if it were hundreds or thousands of Mexicans cheering you, saying, come on, Mexico!" And even when you're not from Mexico, you felt like a boost of energy,
Yeah.
and vamos, Emilio."
And you understand Spanish too, being from Madrid, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yes,
That's awesome. Yeah. Looks like you definitely enjoyed the things on the course, which is a lot. Like every corner, there's something going on, the performance or somebody cheering or a group cheering for their. It's what like it. I think that's why I say you may have goals, but it's important that we enjoy the journey because, as you said, each measure is an experience in itself, and it's more fun if you're enjoying the experience along the way as you're chasing your goals. That's awesome. That's great to know. Um, so let's go back. So this is your third major you completed. It looks like you're doing Boston next year, right?
yes.
2024.
First, I have to go to Tokyo because I was
Oh
quite
yes, you're going to
lucky,
Tokyo.
yeah, of having a slot for Tokyo.
Uh,
And I've been running with the Tokyo Marathon Foundation is organizing virtual challenges that each time you get involved in a challenge like this, you have the option of going to a lottery for 50 or 100 places for the entries for the marathon. And I
mhm.
got one running. I think it was the virtual Tokyo Marathon. Yes, because I was involved also in the half marathon, in the 10 kilometers. I was trying to push and get a place with all the lotteries that were available
Mhm.
before going to the last lottery, that is the official lottery for having a slot for the Tokyo Marathon, and I got it. So and it was I think it was in the month of April or May. I got the email from the Tokyo Marathon Foundation, and I was hardly not well. It was something so amazing to get this email that you say, this is not true. This is not happening to me. To get because
Yeah.
Tokyo Marathon is something like for many runners completing the six majors, it used to be the last one because it's so hard to get a place to go to to
Tokyo,
Tokyo.
yes.
And I say, okay, I'm really lucky. I got the opportunity to go to Tokyo. Immediately, I go to buy the tickets, to book the hotel. And in the month of March, I'm going to Tokyo. And then I've got qualification time for Boston, and I'll be running in Boston in April. I think it's about 5 weeks after
Right.
Tokyo Marathon.
Yeah.
So will
Yeah.
be my fifth start, and the only left will be New York.
Oh, great. Wow. So you are on pretty much wrapping up six majors by next year if everything goes as planned, which is awesome. So let's go back. So you say that you're started to run marathons around 2012. So it's more little over 10 years. Did you just started to run long distance like that, or there was a journey towards getting into long distance running?
Yeah, well, in my life, uh, sport has been always present in my life.
Hmm.
When you're a kid, you start doing many sports, even sailing, judo, or you go to run. You also play soccer, and and when I started to, let's say, to concentrate in one sport, it was on alpine skiing. And I was an alpine ski racer until I was 20, 21 years old.
Hmm.
And then I decided to stop racing for becoming a professional coach on ski. And I was at the end of my career, I was involved with the junior national team of Andorra.
Oh, okay.
And then I was also, and later on I was involved like coach, ski coach for the Olympic team of Andorra with the
Nice.
Albertville Olympics. It was in the 1992. But well, I stopped skiing, and I started to just to have fun doing different sports. And suddenly, a magazine about triathlon went into me and say, "Oh, that's quite interesting because I was swimming when I was a kid, so I know how to swim. It's a question about training." I've been running all my life because you always use running for training, and cycling we used very much cycling for the ski also because it was very convenient for the skiers. So I said let's try it about this, and with some friends we founded a club, then we founded the Andorran Federation for triathlon. We went into some European championships, into a world championship about long distance triathlon, and suddenly my life when I was 28 years old turned into becoming a triathlon athlete, a triathlete. So and I competed there since 2002. 2003, when we started to have kids, and it was too hard to train that much time, and then also working, also trying to be with your kids, and it was too complicated. So I decided to quit the triathlon racing and go into sports for fun. But when you go only for fun without objectives, you have the risk of having one day that you decide not to go for training. The second day you decide that it's raining, so better you stay at home. And you need to have some objectives in your life. Right. And well, first I was having some cycling competitions, and suddenly I decided that cycling was taking too much time for me, and also was not the best sport. And I started running again, not at the same level that I was running when I was a triathlete. And now I really enjoy every time I'm going for a run. Running is like the best part of the day because you wake up and you go to the mountain and you have a run with your dog, even when you fix some objectives that are really important. Because if you don't have those objectives in your life, maybe you're not, you stop doing sports, like I mentioned, but it was I started running again in the 2009, running only 10 kilometers races. Then I went into half marathons, and in 2012 I decided to go into the first marathon that was in Madrid, or closest to home, and it was a nice experience. Hard because even when you have been doing some other sports, you get into a marathon, and it's quite it's a quite experience, quite hard experience, but it's so satisfying that once you get into a marathon, if you're prepared enough for running it, that means that you have been doing your training, so you enjoy the race. Immediately you decide to let's see around well, there's another marathon that I could go and have the same experience, the same satisfaction I'm feeling. And then you get into another, and then you learn about there is something amazing that is called 6 major marathons, and your friends tell you and push you to have this experience, and nowadays and even now after COVID, I'm not running as fast as I did in the past in marathons. I was running 3 hours 10, 3 hours 15, 5 marathons a year. Now I suffer a few injuries as well. I'm getting older. Maybe in 5 years, I'm let's say much slower. I'm running marathons in 3 hours and 30 minutes. I think I can also go back to faster times, but I'm really not worried about this, because it's not about the time. It's about the satisfaction. It's about the happiness. It's about uh, I have the pictures from Berlin, and I see my face at the finish line, so
Mhm.
happy, so satisfied with
Mhm.
my third kid that came with me to cheer me, to support me
Mhm.
during the marathon, and was running from one point to another,
Oh, nice.
telling me, come on, Daddy, you're doing it incredibly well. You're the best dad in the world, and it's something incredible when you get to the finish line and you have a hug with him, and say it's amazing. It's the best sensation you can ever have in your life. Well, for me, it's like this. It's something incredible that you get in your memories for all your life.
It is so true. I'm really moved with your story, Andrew. And you're absolutely right. Like one of the biggest things for any race that I participate, I have a 10-year-old son that I look forward to is at the finish line, he'll come running and give me a hug, right? And you can't express that in words, like the feeling of it. Is just unexplainable. But it's amazing to hear your story. I want to unpack a little bit about your Olympic coaching because um, dealing with Olympic athletes and even coaching as such is a different level game compared to like any level of sports you play because it teaches you the rigor, the discipline, that the practice and consistency that you have to build up. It's like not seen in any other sport, and there are sure other sports, but Olympic is in a different level altogether. Share a little bit more about how was it, either the coaching or participating in Olympics. The teams. You said alpine skiing, right?
Yeah. Well, I think that in different sports, the different sports, the experience is different, and also
Mm-hmm.
in different kind of countries with different dimensions of teams is not the same. The Andorran team that we had six skiers,
Mm-hmm.
than, for example, compared with the Austrian team, Austrian Alpine team, Alpine skiing team, or the Swiss team, that are really strong teams with maybe we have 50 really good and strong skiers. But well,
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you that we were in a smaller dimension. We were two coaches with six guys that were between, yes, 60, 17 and maybe 22 or 23. But what is something really incredible, and it was the most important part of the experience in my life with them, is that we were traveling around in different places, in different cities in Europe, in different ski areas in Europe, and villages more than cities, and we were all the time together. That means that we were having a van, and the van was all occupied by two coaches and four kids that were all the time together. We were
Mm-hmm.
also sharing rooms. We were having all the time together. That means that from the very beginning in the month of November until the month of April, we were like a family.
Mm-hmm.
And we were not only sharing and thinking and talking about skiing, that was let's say, the main topic that we had doing all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and also about the ups and downs, about the performance of each racer,
Mm-hmm.
but also about someone that was playing the guitar, the other one that was studying laws in this moment at the university, and was also, sometimes thinking, oh, am I going to pass the next exam or not, because I'm concentrating only on skiing and training, and have that little time for studying. And but when you are involved with a national team, with an Olympic team, it's all about performance. That means that it's skiing in the morning, then we're going to the hotel, having some stretching, then we are training, maybe we are running for a while to have the also to make some kind of sport that is different, like than skiing, and everything is around the performance. That it's also hard for them because having only one topic in your life is really stressing. And when things are going well or quite well,
Mm-hmm.
then you're satisfied. But when the results are not coming out, or you're decreasing your performance, then it's quite difficult to take them out of the hole and telling them, okay, try to reset your mind to think about some other things, and try not to, maybe you're pushing too much yourself psychologically, and that's why you're not competing at the best level.
Mm-hmm.
And because the many times the is not the shape, it's not their fitness, it's about the psychological moment in their life that is against the best results they can get in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I will highlight for sure the good environment we had with them, all this human relationship we have with them that made us feel like a family, traveling together all around Europe at the World Cup circuit and also the European Cup circuit for ski, and made us really strong friends at the end, even
Mm-hmm.
when you're not at the same level, the racers and the coaches, because your role is not being their friends, but it's more being like like a parent for them in some moments, but also being open that they can always come to you with their problems, with their mental problems, or with
Mm-hmm.
their concerns about their life, or even some other things about girls, or about studies, or other things.
Wow. And you're in your 20s, right? When you're coaching, you said?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you're probably also learning a lot of things as you go, because it was first time you coaching a national team, that also an Olympic team.
yeah. Well, being a, being a coach in a national team, when you're in a small national team, is not the same like being. I remember our colleagues from for the French team.
Uh-huh.
They were having, let's say, specialized careers. Some of them were the ski mans, the people in charge of having the skis perfectly for the racers the
Mm-hmm.
next day. In our case, we were the drivers of the van,
I
the other
see.
coach and me.
Okay.
We were going to the coach meetings to discuss and also defend our interests from the national team. We were preparing the skis for them, to letting the skiers being more relaxed and calm in front of the next race. And it was like doing all the time. We had duties to do, and it was quite demanding and amazing. We are not sleeping very much very much time. I think that the average time we were sleeping was about 5 hours a day.
Oh, wow. Wow. Amazing. Yeah. Looks like you didn't have a huge support team that maybe other big, countries with the larger budget or larger team size may
Yeah,
have. But looks like you had a lot of fun. You built some lifelong relationships, and the value you saw, guiding those kids to this competition looks like, say, invaluable lessons that you learned that you're probably carrying throughout your life too. Now let's go back to a little bit about triathlete career. Like, I am really intrigued and curious. You competed at the national level when you're in the professional level triathlete. How was it?
yeah.
So you skiing to triathlete, like, what is the difference?
Well, I think it's completely different. Triathlon to ski. The only thing that was in my background was the training I had when I was a kid as a swimmer, because I was swimming when I was a kid, as I mentioned, and also the time I spent on trainings with bicycle, with road bicycle, and also running. But alpine ski and triathlon is they have nothing in common. something
Yeah.
with the snow in the winter. For
Right.
triathlon, you need to have, let's say, warm or hot weather, because you have to swim, then you have to cycle, and then you have to run. And I have to also to mention that in this time of the history of triathlon in the 90s, triathlon was not the same that it is in this moment. I remember that we were the 10 kilometers after when we were running the Olympic distance, that is 1.5 kilometers swimming, then 40 kilometers on the bicycle, and 10 kilometers run to finish the triathlon. Many of us, we were running on 40 minutes, 38 minutes. And now when you see the competitions nowadays, all triathletes are running the 10 kilometers in 32 minutes or 30 minutes. So, the performance has increased that much that when anybody tells me, will you go back to triathlon and competing on triathlon? I say, no way. I can't compete in triathlon in such a level. Well, first of all, many years has gone through when I was competing on triathlon, and now I'm much older, and when you're getting older, you can compete on a really international level. But even the best version of me won't be doing nothing, won't be competing in a good level in triathlon nowadays. I was not a really good performing triathlete at an international level. I had fun. I went to European Championships. I had the option of having a medal on age groups on a European Championship. That was my best record on triathlon. It was 1999 in the European Championships in Madeira in Portugal. But nowadays, if you compare the time, my finishing time on Madeira, and any finisher, not the first three finishers, any finisher on the European Championship at the age group, I think maybe it will be, I don't know, the last or behind the last one, the last one in this moment.
I see. I see. No, thanks for sharing that. That's definitely helpful. Now, you decided to continue or pick up running and continue with running, especially long distance running since 2012. And obviously, you're pretty close wrapping up your 6 majors, which would be an awesome accomplishment for sure. Looking at your background, you've always been athletic in alpine skiing to triathlete to long distance running. I'm curious, like, how does, especially in terms of long distance running, right? How it has impacted you on all aspects of or different aspects of your life. I'm sure you get a lot out of it. That's why you're continuing, though you are getting older and maybe getting slower too. But you had getting a lot out of running. That's why you're continuing. What does it look for you? Like what you're getting out
Well,
of running? Yeah.
I think the most important aspect I have to highlight about running and long distance running is that it's something that makes me feel so happy. It's many days when you wake up in the morning, and usually I'm the first one to wake up at home during the summer holidays. I wake at 6 or 5:30. That is not very useful in and nobody's is getting up is waking up this early in Spain. In Spain, when you wake up early, you wake up at 7, or when you're in holidays at 9. It's let's say it's quite early, and
Uh-huh.
and then but in my case, it's giving me that much positive energy for the day and for my life, that it's not something that is making me feel that I have to cover those kilometers, because if I'm not running those kilometers, I won't achieve my goal of going into a marathon. It's all let's say it's all a path that I'm covering, and I'm enjoying every kilometer I'm running,
Hmm.
and the marathon is there. It's gonna be a milestone in my life, and it's a milestone that it's helping me to go to the everyday running. But I think that the most important part of the whole pack is the happiness, the well-being you're feeling every day. That's the most important thing.
Great. That, yeah, I think that's probably definitely can be a major reason why you will go out day in and day out and train and run, because you're getting that value out of it. You mentioned a couple of times, how family is playing a critical role, right? And you love to see kids at the finish line. Can you share a little bit about your support system? How does it look? You're chasing a lot of goals, and it's probably a lot of time away from family. But how does your support system? I'm sure they
Yeah.
are supporting in many ways.
Yes. Well, uh, I have from one side my family, and from the other side I have my friends,
Mhm.
and let's say my sports friends, because I have some friends that are cycling when I go cycling with them, and
Mhm.
the others that are running. We met each other running different races, and we have a WhatsApp group. We are not many friends in this WhatsApp group. We are about 10, 12 friends,
Uh-huh.
but all of us, we are sharing our competition. Sometimes we are going into a competition together,
Mhm.
and some other times we are cheering the one that is going into a marathon. Every time we have a marathon, a major marathon, or another kind of marathon, we are tracking the friend that is running there, and we are cheering him all the way. So when he gets to the finish line and gets to get all the pack with the clothes and the mobile phone, he gets
Mhm.
all all the text that we have been sending to him during his marathon. And this is fantastic. And we are all it's mandatory for the group to share let's say a summarizing story about our experience before, during, and after the
Oh,
marathon.
nice.
And we are writing the story of the marathon
Uh-huh.
every time we all the friends are running a marathon, and it's quite funny, and it's also is giving us some tips and recommendations when we are going to run a marathon that they had that you've never been in. For
Mhm.
example, in Berlin, I have two friends that were here were there in Berlin, so they gave me some information. Also in Chicago, last week in Chicago, we had a friend that was running in Chicago, and we text him, okay, then you must go and have a pizza there. You must go after here to have a coffee. You must go there, and please. Save some energy for Medal Monday, because Medal Monday is something incredible, and you have to take your medal for a walk, for a long walk on the street, and go and visit some shops, and also, well, see everybody that is taking the medal for a walk, and feel the experience that is something incredible. I'm really curious about Boston, how it's going to be, because I think that in the three majors in America is going to be mostly the same like in Chicago, because you're very passionate about sports, about the people that is involved in sports, and I'm sure that Boston will be very close to the experience in Chicago. But well,
Yeah.
we're talking about the supporting group. Sorry, because
Yeah.
I'm so passionate that sometimes I go from one idea to the other.
No worries. Continue. Yeah.
And I have those friends that we're having a really nice time. Sometimes we are training together. Not nowadays, not many times, but we try to have some races and some trainings together. And also sharing our feelings, how it's going the week. And we are texting every week. We are testing at the WhatsApp group many times. And from the other side, I have my family. My family is really supporting me on this. They know that running is in this moment is my life. It's a very important part of my life. Even when I'm not competing against anybody, I'm competing against myself. Every morning when I wake up and I see myself at the mirror, I say, okay, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna train him, and I'm gonna push you to the very end of the training. And well, I'm gonna push you, but we're also going to have fun, and we're going to be friends in the training. And they know this, that I need to go for my training. My wife usually goes with me to all the marathons I'm running, and all my kids were coming to when they were smaller. They were coming to all the marathons with me. So I had let's say a club of fans of 4 kids and my wife that was coming to cheer me during all the marathons. Now they are grown up, and sometimes it's not possible for them for their studies. So they're also working. But what is really curious is not the support, say the love they're giving me, the support they're giving me every day, and in all marathons. Even when I have not the best marathon, they are telling me, "Papi, Daddy, you are incredible. You are doing another marathon and another one and another one, and we are very proud of you." But nowadays, the third one that is 16 years old and it's gonna become 17 next month, the month of November, is a really good athlete. And he competed on the first 10 kilometers officially, because that he was allowed last year, and he did a really good performance. He was selected to go into the international San Silvestre, that is the end of the year 10 kilometers run in Madrid. And he decided not to go with the professionals. He decided to go and run with me, because he told me, Daddy, you have been running so many times with me in so many competitions and supporting me, that I prefer to go with you in this time and help you to go to the finish line. And now the story is completely the opposite that it was before. He's coming with me. He went with me to the 10 kilometers race, and he was running with me and supporting me and motivating me and cheering me. Come on, Daddy. Let's go a little faster. I'm so proud about how you're doing. I say, but this is a completely different story than it was in the past, because I was pacing him. I was telling them, okay, you're doing very, very well. You can go a little faster. And now the story is completely the opposite. And in Berlin, it was he that came with me to Berlin, because my wife couldn't come because she had some working issues, and she decided, okay, you go both together to Berlin. And he was running many times, coming to the circuit and supporting me running. We were running side by side, and then he was stopping and going to another point and running again. I don't know how many kilometers he did. Maybe he did 30 kilometers or 35 kilometers because he was at the, running from one point to the other, and then running a little with your dad. But Also the same, like this 10 kilometers race I mentioned, all the time supporting me, telling me, "Daddy, you're doing it great. You don't feel like you're struggling. Now you're beating the marathon. You're doing perfectly. You are running fast, and I'm so proud about what how you're doing and what you're doing. That you're the best dad in the world." So this is really amazing, having your kid that it's 16, it's going to be 17, that has in his mind that his dad is not the only someone that was with him when he was a kid, and now is stopping him from some crazy idea that he could have like an adolescent, like a teenager.
Right. Right.
Now he's completely convinced about sports is good for the human being, and I'm sure that he believes that being in a sports environment family is something important, important for his education, to get some really good values for life. And also this occasion of about being in Berlin with me, and and living the experience of a major with this energy before
Right.
we started the marathon with that many people. All of us, we were friendly with the others. Even we were sharing a space with people we have never met with, and
Right.
we were all feeling like friends. And
Right.
we were running, and we were not fighting against each other. We were having fun, and the
Yeah.
people that were supporting us at the public, all the people, all the families, all the friends that had come to see the runners. And this is something really important in life. I think this atmosphere of peace, of good relationship with the different people from all over the world, it's also important. Yellow people, black people, white people, people from Asia, people from Europe, people from United States, people from also from Oceania, from Australia, and all feeling friendly, all feeling good together, and all feeling happy. This is something incredible, and I'm pretty sure that my son had a really incredible experience as well. You know, uh, with that many people, let's say, yeah, it was about I don't know how many people. If we add the people that were involved on racing, and all the supporting people, maybe 100,000 people
Yeah, I'm sure
were
it'll
were,
cross that.
were
Yeah.
were were feeling the same.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
because you 45,000 runners, and then pretty much your support system is there with you, your family, friends, and people who are cheering up, and volunteers, organizers.
yeah.
I'm sure
No,
it's
no,
well worth more than
and
100,000
and,
count. Yeah.
and also the volunteers. I always thank the volunteers in all races, because they support you. They're doing a magnificent job. They are usually always happy with all the people, always positive, and it's because without volunteers, sports will disappear, and
Yeah.
we need
Yeah.
the volunteers. And it's I have no words to express how grateful I am for volunteers all over the races.
Yeah.
And
They play a
there they
very
say that,
critical role to, work the races to work as smooth as it seems. Like it's like seamless. Like, okay, you get water every boot, you're guided through. Like, they're all volunteers magic. Like that, the magic behind is the volunteers for sure. But I'm glad to see that you are passing the coaching button to your son, which is amazing to see. But it is really fun chatting with you, and thanks for sharing your running journey. And wish you all the best for Boston, sorry, Tokyo, Boston, and then New York, and to get the 6-star, for sure. So all the best.